Hey everyone. Recently I was reminded of just instructions and then a metaphor that really was a blessing again, and it reminded me. And I wanted to share it for someone else just that it may be an encouragement to them, may empower them too. The statement is this: keep walking. The metaphor is a valley. And, when we are walking through whatever those seasons are of life, whether they're really, really intense or whether they're just difficult in the moment or for a shorter period of time, if we keep walking, we're not trapped by that. We're not held by that. We're not kept there. It's not to say that we ignore what's happening around us or the valley we might be in, the season, if you want to call it that, we might be in that moment. Doesn't mean that. It just means that we don't stay there. Maybe we'll stop and rest for a little while, but even in your resting, you don't focus on what's around you. If it's a barren place in your life that you're really struggling with, or if it's just something where you just don't see any sort of good. Maybe it's cloudy overhead. Maybe your thoughts don't give any sort of good resolve in your spirit at that moment. Maybe your emotions are even speaking back to you, and whatever darkness that the very forces of hell itself would come against you with are just trying to wreck you. Or maybe it's just a day where it just isn't going well, or season even. Just keep walking. But you don't focus on that, even if you stop and rest for a moment. And the trick with the resting even is you don't focus on what's around you. You don't ignore it, but you don't focus on it. And this may seem like a wishful thinking kind of thing, and oh well, that's nice, encouragement, rhetoric, and all that. But here's where it becomes practical. And I know I've said it before, but it's worth repeating. You ask yourself what is good, and then you look at that, because good over positive has roots, and it keeps you from focusing on what isn't. Keeps you focusing on what is healthy, what is constructive, what is a blessing. And then, of course, and you answer that question, and it never starts with big answers or a long list. It always starts with something small, and normally one thing, and it will build, especially if you let it. And then the other question, of course, is what else is there? And you can do that, and then the same way, one answer, start small, and then it builds from there. And these two questions alone can reframe your structure, reframe your thinking, reframe even your emotions. They don't pretend that it's good. They don't say that, oh, well, this is fantastic and everything is awesome as the Lego movie says or sings or whatever. But it is empowered even in spite of that, and it helps you continue forward. And then it's, the one step at a time. You start out with that's why you start out always with one answer. To not overwhelm yourself, one, and two, to build momentum. And as you go through those tasks in your mind and your emotions and your spirit, you also carry on in your physical actions. Say, for example, you are at work. Say, what is good? Well, I have accomplished blank. You never start with a big answer. You start with small, that it helps you, and it helps you not to be overwhelmed. And then, so you're not looking at only what you have to do, so you don't feel like you're existing all the time. You ask, what else is there? And when you do that, it breaks you out of that. And as you do that, you intentionally make the action. These are the steps, to break free of it. You actually physically look around you. You stop. You take note of things. If that time you have, those moments you have, are even only seconds at a time, take them, because that's a blessing. Don't discount that as something that is less than or not extraordinary, because it is. The seconds even that we have are beautiful and precious. And it's not about being successful. It's about growth. It's about forward progression. It's about constructive steps. ones that Jesus will give you the ability to step into as you would place your trust and faith in him. And if you don't know what that looks like, simply like this: Jesus, help me. I know you are good. I'm believing that. It's hard to believe, but I'm believing with what little faith I have. So if you wrestle with that, don't be afraid of that. Don't be discouraged by that. Don't let that defeat you. If you struggle with these steps, if you struggle with even welcoming Jesus into these matters, it's okay. We all do. I do even at times. But I just wanted to encourage you with this today. Keep walking, especially if you're in a really tough moment or a season even. Keep walking through those valleys. That's how you will continue forward. Ask and answer what is good. What else is there? Take small steps, and don't be afraid to look around, because when you do that, that's where it becomes more practical. And I just wanted to come on and encourage someone with these things that I was reminded of today. Keep walking. Keep walking through those thoughts, those emotions. Keep walking through those things you have to do, those things you get to do. So, but if this has been a blessing to you, this or anything on this channel, feel free to share or like it. Share like anything on this channel. Subscribe to the channel if you want. You're welcome here. And again, I'm going to put the web address to my blog in the description below if you want any free resources. Even just something to know that you aren't alone, to empathize with, maybe with what I process and Jesus gives me the ability to create. Maybe it could be a blessing to you too, to let you know you don't walk this life alone. So, and it's okay if you're honest with yourself sometimes, but we don't stay there, we don't stay in those darker seasons, those darker valleys. We keep walking, and that's how they will not destroy us, but how they will be a blessing, not just to us, but to those around us. So thank you very much for being here, and just know you're not alone if you struggle with this. I'm learning too. I'm learning how to keep walking. So let's keep walking together. Have a great day.